Uh, Today's topic is on going to take bacteriophages. So these bacteriophages are nothing but the viruses which infects the bacteria. Usually we see bacteria usually infects the humans or animals like that, but some viruses are also there which infects the bacteria. They are nothing but bacteriophages. They occur in the they are widely present in the environment like sewage pieces and where mixed bacterial growth is very high. In that conditions we can see these bacteriophages. Previously, previously it is assumed that these bacteriophages can be used for the treatment of the bacterial infection, which was not fulfilled. But it plays an important role for the transmission of the genes between the bacteria, between one bacterium to the another bacterium. This is nothing but the transduction. Besides this, it played an important role for understanding of this virus-host interaction at the cellular and molecular level. Okay, and integration, and sometimes we will see in this bacteriophages some bacteriophages may integrate bacteriophages phage genome. Phage is not bacteriophage genome may integrate with the bacterial chromosome. They are nothing but the which induces some new properties to the bacterium. This is nothing but the phage conversion as a lysogenic conversion. Usually used, these bacteriophages can be used as a cloning vector. That means it carries the genes, imported genes, specific genes, which can be used for the transfer in a genetic manipulation, or it can be used in recombinant technology, genetic recombinant technology. And if you see this, they replicate by injection of the genome into the bacterium. Previously, Tward described that some degenerative changes of the Staphylococcus colonies, which obtained from the cough lymph, which could be transmitted by application of the culture filtrate of the virginal growth. These lysis can also be transmitted. He described this Tward described, and De Herle observed that filtrate of the feces culture, which can be transmissible to the by growing on the culture filtrate, original broth filtrate of the dysentery bacillus. And he suggested this lysis of this bacterial colonies is caused by one virus, that is nothing but the bacteriophage. Usually it infects the bacteria and also Ehrlichia. They are widely distributed, already told, distributed in the nature. Almost 70% of marine bacteria are infected by these phages. Among these, 19 families till now we know about the 19 families. Among these 9 families infects the bacteria only, and another 9 families infect the 9 families infect the bacteria, and another one bacteria infects both. Another bacteriophage infects both bacteria and Ehrlichia, and this it has 2 cycles. It has 2 cycles. They are lytic cycle and lysogenic cycle. two life cycles are there. This lytic cycle is also called virulent cycle, and lysogenic cycle is mainly lysogenic cycle is also called caused by alytic or temperate phages. And if you see these bacteriophages, usually they won't cause directly to the don't cause infection directly to the humans. Usually it causes infection to the phages, and indirectly it causes infection to the humans. For example, usually cholera bacteria is harmless. If they infect with the filamentous bacteriophage, it induces the production of the cholera toxin. Presence of the filamentous bacteriophage only responsible for the causation of the cholera. Okay, without bacteriophage, this Vibrio cholera is harmless. Presence of the this Vibrio cholera, presence of this filamentous prophase. Prophase is nothing but the virus which infects the bacteria. Okay, which multiplies along with the bacterial chromosome. It is nothing but the prophase. So filamentous prophase, which infects the Vibrio cholera, is only responsible for the causation of the cholera. This is one example. Another example is scarlet fever. Here this usually affects children, and signs and symptoms are sore throat, fever, and characteristic red rash, usually spread by inhalation. There is no vaccine available for this disease. This scarlet fever is mainly due to the production of this anthropogenic toxin, substance produced by the bacterial streptococcus when it is infected by the bacteriophage T12. T is one bacteriophage. T is one bacteriophage is nothing but T even phages is usually called. T phages are usually called as T even phages. So whenever this streptococcus is infected by this bacteriophage T12, it induces the production of the erythrogenic toxin. Another example is beta prophase. Usually it infects the diphtheria bacilli. Only when it is only when this diphtheria bacilli is infected by this prophase beta, then it is then only it causes the diphtheria. Otherwise, it is harmless. So we'll see so many phases, bacteriophages are there. So first one is T1 phages. Again, it had been classified as T2, T4, and T6. Usually that infects the T17 is also there. T2, T4, and T6 usually infects the Escherichia coli. And temperate phages. Temperate phages they are nothing but avirulent phages which undergoes lysogenic cycle. They are also called temperate phages. Their examples are lambda and mu. Spherical phages are also there, which contain single-stranded DNA. And filamentous soliditol Vibrio cholera usually infected by filamentous prophase. Here, prophase is nothing but M13. Here, these filamentous phages with contain single-stranded DNA. Example is M13. Other phages are RNA phages. Example is Q beta. T1 phages has specific classes told, T2, T4, and so many things are told. In that, T4 and T12 usually infects the both bacteriophages infect the Escherichia coli. These bacteriophages usually are icosahedral and contains icosahedral heads and cylindrical tails. Usually it contains double-stranded DNA. Okay. Again, this tail contains this cylindrical tail contains contractile sheath, and the base contains base plate. This tail contains base plate with fibers and prongs. Here, this is the here these T1 pages. T1 pages are studied in detail. They act as a prototypes for describing the describing the detailed description of this bacteriophages. Here, these T-even pages are tadpole shape, and it contains icosahedral head and a tail. This again, this cylindrical tail is surrounded by contractile sheath. Okay, this tail again, and at the base it contains a base plate and tail fibers. This icosahedral head contains a packed double-stranded DNA, which is enclosed in a protein coat. This is nothing but a capsid. This is the prototype. T-even pages acts as a prototype for describing the detailed structure of the bacteriophage. This temperate phases usually involves the lysogenic cycle. Examples are lambda phase has an icosahedral head about 50 to 60 nanometers in diameter, and a flexible long non-contractile about 150 nanometers in length. Head contains a capsid, and it contains a double-stranded DNA. About 48 kilobytes in length. Next one is filamentous phase. This filamentous phase example is M13. Usually contains a single-stranded DNA. Usually these filamentous phases are used mainly in the recombinant DNA process, and also used in nanostructures and nanotechnology. Spherical phages example is PHIX174. It is also an icosahedral phase. Contains a protein coat which encloses a core that contains both protein and DNA. It doesn't have any tail. It attaches to the cell, attaches to the host cell as it is. And RNA phages, usually it infects the Escherichia coli, contains single-stranded RNA. This strand acts both as a template and mRNA molecule that directs the translation of the viral protein. And if you see the, I already told, this bacteriophage undergoes two types of cycles. First one is lytic cycle. Is also called a lytic cycle. Another cycle is lysogenic cycle or lysogenic cycle. Here in this lytic cycle, the infectious bacteriophages are released by killing of the host cell, that is bacterial cell. And in lysogenic cycle, we'll see this infectious prophages are released, replicates along with the bacterium, and released along with the bacterium, because as this temperate phases nucleic acid integrates with the bacterial chromosome and replicates along with the synchronously along with the bacterial chromosome and releases along with the bacterium. But whereas in this case, lytic cycle, only infectious bacteriophage particles are released after destroying the bacterial cell. Here, this lytic cycle contains some phases which are important for the release of the infectious bacteriophage particles. So you see, the first step in lytic cycle is adsorption. Here, this adsorption is a specific process. It is a specific process. Mainly involves the it is mainly due to the complementary chemical groups which is present between the bacteriophage and also the bacterial cell. This chemical subunits are present in the receptors of the surface of the bacterial cell, whereas in case of bacteriophage, these complementary chemical subunits are present on the tail of the bacteriophage. Here in this adsorption is a random collision, of the fast particles on the bacterial cell. Okay, this fast attaches to the surface of the susceptible bacterium by its tail. So the surface of the bacterium contains a complementary chemical sulfurate combines with the receptor present on the surface of the bacterium. And this is a specific process, depends on the presence of receptor cells and bacterial cells for the terminal basal plate of the fast. Here, cofactors like cations are also necessary for the adsorption. So after adsorption, next step is the penetration. Here in this penetration after adsorption, this fast DNA is injected. This fast DNA is injected into the bacterial body through the hollow core. This hollow core is produced by the lysozyme, which is present on the tail of the bacteriophage. Okay, so the fast DNA is injected into the bacterial body through the hollow core. This hollow core is produced by the lysozyme, which is present on the, produced by the tail of the bacteriophage. And if there is any infection, sometimes some protoplasts are also there. Protoplast bacteria doesn't contain any cell wall. In that case, infection is impossible. But sometimes specificity can be ignored experimentally by injecting the naked nucleic acid into the bacterium. This process is nothing but the transfection. Okay, the base plate and tail fibers are held firmly. This is the process. The base plate and the tail fibers are held firmly against the bacterial cell. Here, the contractile sheath acts as a muscle and derives energy from the ATP. So this hollow core pierces the cell wall of the bacterium. The contractile sheath injects the fast DNA through the hollow core. After penetration, the empty head and tail of the phase remain outside the bacterium. So here, only the fast nucleic acid is only introduced into the bacterial cell. After penetration, next step is synthesis of the fast components. So after entry of the nucleic acid, it has to undergo multiplication by using some resources from the bacterial cell. This fast synthesis the bacterial protein and DNA or RNA. I mean, the synthesis of the bacterial protein, DNA and RNA ceases. So bacterial metabolism for some time it is halted. And here the fast undergoes multiplication by using the resources of the bacterial cell. The first products that are produced in the bacterial cell is the early proteins. Early proteins are nothing but the enzymes which are used for the synthesis of the fast DNA or RNA. Next, after synthesis of the early proteins, subsequently the late proteins are produced. So these late proteins are mainly used for the synthesis of the bacteriophage head tail. Okay. So this is about the synthesis of the fast components. So after synthesis of this synthesis of the DNA or RNA with the help of the enzymes, this DNA is condensed. So during the process of maturation or assembly, this DNA is compacted or packed into the head of the bacteria, packed into the head. After that, after the introduction of the after this introduction of this packed DNA, this tail is attached. Okay, a tail is added. So the whole bacteriophage is synthesized inside the bacterial cell. This is nothing but the assembly or maturation. Okay, inside the bacterial cell. During the maturation, during the process of this assembly and maturation, the bacterial cell is weakened. Bacterial cell is weakened, and by the production of some enzymes, by the production of some enzymes, this bacterial cell wall is bacterial cell wall production of some enzymes. This production of these enzymes, holes are produced at the bacterial cell. Thereby, bacteriophages are released. So, these assembly phase components into the mature infective stage is known as the maturation. Release of progeny phase, already told, typically occurs by lysis of the bacterial cell. Bacterial cell wall is weakened and it assumes a spherical shape during the process of the maturation and assembly, resulting in the release of the mature daughter phases. This is about the lytic cycle or virulent cycle of the bacteriophage. This is the diagrammatic picture showing the lytic cycle of the bacteriophage. The first stage is adsorption. So this is it is a specific process. It's a specific process. A specific bacteriophage infects only a specific susceptible bacteria. This is nothing but the adsorption. After that, penetration of the by the production of this holes on the cell wall. This nucleic acid of the phage is introduced into the bacterial body, into the bacterium. Next one is synthesis will take place inside the bacterial cell. The DNA and bacterial metabolism is ceased for some time. First bacterial metabolism ceased. After that, synthesis of the nucleic acid. There is a synthesis of the nucleic acid, and with the help of the early proteins, and the help of the head and tails are produced with the help of the late proteins. After that, packing of the nucleic acid into the head, nucleic acid into the head. To this, a head is added. This is nothing but the assembly or maturation. After that, due to weakening of the bacterial cell wall, weakening of the cell wall, holes are produced in the bacterial cell, so thereby releasing the bacterial phages. This is the lytic cycle or virulent cycle of the bacteriophage. Next one is lysogenic cycle. Here, this lysogenic cycle is also called avirulent cycle. That one is virulent cycle. Okay, lytic cycle is also called virulent cycle. This cycle, lysogenic cycle, is also called avirulent cycle. And phases that are involved here are temperate phases. Okay, here in this lysogenic cycle, there is no killing of this bacterial cell. Here, what happens is here this bacteriophages enters into the bacterial cell, and there is a symbiotic there is a provision of this. There is a and there is a symbiotic relationship with the bacterial chromosome. Here, this bacterial phages nucleic acid will go and integrate with the temperate phase will go and integrate with the bacterial chromosome. Okay, Here this here uh, here this bacterial process multiplies along with multiplies synchronously with the bacterial chromosome. So there is no death of the bacterial cell. Finally, there is a release of the finally there is a of the release of the daughter bacteria along with the fast nucleic acid. Okay, here the integrated fast nucleic acid is also known as the prophase. What we call this fast nucleic acid is nothing but the integrated fast nucleic acid to the bacterial chromosome is nothing but a prophase. Here this prophase behaves like a segment of the bacterial chromosome. So there is no harm to the bacterial cell and replicates synchronously with it. Okay. So this phenomenon is called lysogeny. The multiplication of this prophase along with the bacterial chromosome, the process is nothing but the lysogeny. Okay, the bacterium that carries the prophase with its genome is called lysogenic bacterium and lysogenic bacteria. And here this prophase, if there is any foreign body, if you see, if there is any foreign body introduced, if it behaves like a host cell, and it behaves like a host cell because because of its integration, it produces some new properties to the bacterial cell also. Okay, the prophase confers certain new properties because this nucleic acid will go and nucleic acid, because of this nucleic acid integrated with this bacterial chromosome, it encodes some new proteins on the lysogenic bacterium. This is nothing but the lysogenic conversion or fast conversion. And another thing is lysogenic bacteria. Sometimes some lysogenic bacteria is resistant to reinfection by the same or related phases. So whenever it is infected one phase, it cannot be infected by the same phase next time because of the because it is resistant to the reinfection by the same or related phases. This is nothing but the superinfection immunity. Okay, superinfection immunity. And sometimes some phases exhibit some special features like some may cause destruction to the whole genus. Okay, some phases specifically destroy some whole genus, lyses the whole genus of the bacteria. For example, specific phases that lyses the genus Salmonella. Some phases are there which lyses the Salmonella genus, and some phases are there which particularly destroys a species. For example, Bacillus anthrax. Okay. Next, some phases may lyse the some subspecies or biotypes. For example, Mukherjee phase 4, which kills the classical Vibrio instead of the Altar Vibrio. Now these are few examples. Some may specifically destroy the genus, some may specifically destroy the species, some may specifically destroy the subspecies. So varieties are there. I want to tell some terms. For example, some terms like eclipse phase. In this, some terms like eclipse phase and latent period. Next one is rise period. Like these terms are there. Here, what is this term eclipse phase? This eclipse phase is nothing but the entry of the fast nucleic acid and fast nucleic acid in bacterial cell, and the first appearance of the infectious fast particle inside the bacterial cell is nothing but the eclipse phase. First entry and first appearance of the infectious particle after multiplication. This is nothing but the eclipse phase. Another term is latent. Another term is latent period. This latent period is nothing but entry of the it's a period between the entry of the fast particle and first release of the infectious fast particle is nothing but the latent period. And another thing is rise period. Rise period is nothing but a maximum release of the daughter phases from the bacterial cell after lysis of the bacterial cell is nothing but a rise period. Okay, and a burst size is nothing but an average yield of the prophase for infected bacterial cell is nothing but a burst size. Here, a graph is also plotted. By doing experimentally. These are the terms that are used and what are the functions of these bacterial phases? The main function is usually previously thought it can be used for treatment of the bacterial infection, but it is not fulfilled. But it may act as a carriers of genes from one bacterium to the another. So carriers of the genes from one bacterium to the other. This is nothing but the transduction. Here, this transduction, again, these transductions are classified into restricted transduction, and another one is generalized transduction. In restricted transduction, what happens is in restricted transduction, a gene which is contagious, to the fast is released. Which is released from the bacterial cell. For example, gene which ferments the galactose in Escherichia coli K12 is removed. Some phases which removes the gene which determines the fermentation of the galactose is removed in Escherichia coli K12. Another one is generalized transduction. Here, in this case, any gene can be carried from one bacterium to the other bacterium. Another important thing is also there. This is multi-drug resistance. Here, previously in olden days, one drugs can be some drugs can be some major drugs can be treated for bacterial infection. After going some days, resistance was developed to some particular drugs. This is mainly due to the transfer of the genes from one bacterium to the another bacteria through a process of the transduction. For example, plasmid mediated drug resistance in Staphylococcus. Plasmid is nothing but a extra chromosomal material. Another example is toxin production by the diphtheria bacillus. So here, presence of this prophase beta is only responsible for the virulence of the diphtheria bacillus. Prophase beta. Okay, presence of this only presence of this beta phase only, which induces the production of the toxin by the diphtheria bacillus. Otherwise, it is harmless. This diphtheria bacillus is harmless unless it is infected with the beta prophase. And we see the significance of these phases. These phases are pauses. Here, this pauses is nothing but when pauses is applied. After pauses is applied on a lawn culture of the susceptible bacterium, clearing occurs. Okay, why this clearing is due to the this colony bacterial colonies are infected by these pauses. This clearing is nothing but a plate. Okay, plaques are different from the plates, which I had learned in pox virus. Here, this clearing occurs on the culture of the susceptible bacterial colony. This is nothing but a plates. This plate assay is used mainly for the titrating of the viable phases. Okay. Not only for titrating the viable phases, specific phases are also uh, also specific phages can also be in specific phages can also be removed for using of the future. Next one is fast typing. Fast typing is nothing but I already told this bacteriophages exhibit some specificity. So the specificity of a fast bacterium interaction is made use of in the identification and typing of the bacteria. Already చెప్పాను కదా మీకు. Some phages may infect and lyse the all the genus. Some may lyse the all species. In that way, this fast typing is made use in the identification and typing of the bacteria. Important applications is for interspecies typing of the bacteria and also for fast typing of Salmonella typhi and Staphylococcus. Fast typing is used for already told interspecies typing of Salmonella typhi, and typing is also used in Staphylococcus aureus for epidemiological purpose. And these are also used for as a colonizing agent in genetic manipulation, particularly in genetic recombinant technology. Thank you. This completes the bacteriophage. And tomorrow I will take the orthomyxovirus.